We're recording. So it's episode 86 and
Okay.
We're ready for you.
All right. Welcome, friends, to episode 86 of the Mail Right Real Estate Agent Podcast Show. We have a special guest today and also happens to be our show sponsor, Mr. Grant Wise of Modern Mogul Marketing. And how's this for an introduction, folks? Grant is a cowboy from Arkansas who is an introvert yet teaches realtors how to grow their businesses through social media. He survived 9 surgeries, a bankruptcy, and at an early age built $1 million company. And later we're going to find out why he's terrified of leprechauns. So Grant, with that introduction, maybe you could tell us a little more about yourself before we jump over to Jonathan.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? So nice to be on here. I'm definitely gonna have to talk to my web guys. I thought they were kind of joking with some of the stuff that I put on there, but all of it's actually true. Like it's not fake. It's actually true. I was born and raised here in Arkansas. I was raised kind of on a ranch. Did a lot of work like that. It's probably where I learned to work. But dude, I'm pumped to be here. I'm the Facebook ads guy. I've definitely been fortunate enough to be able to help real estate agents all over the world understand how they could grow their business utilizing social media. And it's been one crazy awesome experience after the next, working under the Real Estate Marketing University umbrella. I know you said Modern Moguls Marketing, but it's been a blast, and I'm pumped to be here, pumped to add value to all this conversation.
Well, we're glad to have you, Grant. I'm going to turn things over to Jonathan, who's going to talk about our sponsor and then introduce himself.
Oh, hi there, folks. So before I introduce myself, I want to talk about our sponsor, which is the Real Estate Marketing University, where you'll be able to learn how to do Facebook paid advertisement the right way. It will provide all the information and the tools that you need to do effective Facebook paid advertisement and get those quality leads which you richly deserve. So go to realestatemarketinguniversity.com and learn more. To introduce myself, I am the founder of MailRight, which is an online marketing set of tools that will help you promote yourself to your biggest source of leads. They're the people that know you in your local community. So after that, we're going back to Thomas and we're going to start the interview.
All right. Well, I'm Thomas J. Nelson. I'm a residential realtor here in beautiful sunny San Diego, and our sun has returned. And if you want to find me, you can do so on my website at thomasjnelsonrealtor.com, or feel free to contact me through my Facebook page or LinkedIn. And now we're going to go back to Grant. So Grant, you have several things going, but we're going to talk a little bit about Real Estate Marketing University right now. And I know we brought up Facebook. So right out of the gate, what I would like you to maybe speak on a little are some of the changes we're seeing in Facebook recently and how that affects marketing for realtors. Or
if you know what in the hell you're doing, it doesn't. I think pretty bluntly, I'm a blunt kind of in your face type person. And if you know what you're doing, the changes didn't really affect you at all. Aside from algorithm style changes that Facebook underwent, they did announce new policies specific to the real estate industry, specific to credit, specific to finance, specific to employment. And it's pretty much the same things that you're legally bound by as a real estate agent. Non-discrimination, mainly non-discrimination. I think it was a civil liberties group, and I have my paper around me, but it was a civil liberties group that got really upset with Facebook about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and said, hey, real estate agents that use your platform, they can discriminate by credit, by race, by religion, by this, by that, by this, and we don't think that that's right. You need to change this. And so what Facebook did is they fought back and forth and essentially instituted some new policies that said, hey, real estate agent, if you're going to be discriminative, you cannot advertise on our platform. And what we teach, we don't teach people to market by demographic. We don't teach people to market by finance. We don't teach people to market. We teach very specific strategy. And so a lot of our clients are very safe because we already practice, best practices within Facebook and their terms of service. But if you're out there and you go out and make some of those mistakes, just understand that Facebook's going to pull the plug on you, and that's it. Like, you're done. You got to go create new accounts, or you got to figure out how to get back in. But Facebook does not care about you as an advertiser. You should understand that. It doesn't matter if you gave them money. I spend tens of thousands of dollars every single month. I think we're getting ready to break $100,000 a month this month, and Facebook does not care if they lose my business or not. They care about their end user, and if you don't play their end user's game, you are done.
Interesting.
So there's new things from a policy standpoint. Now, from an algorithm standpoint, making shifts, it's really only getting better, right? It's not getting worse. It's getting better. And Facebook continues to fine tune their platform. They continue to make it what it is. What I will say is that if you are not comfortable with video, you need to do one of two things. You need to get comfortable with video, or you need to get the hell out of the business, because if Facebook is doing insane things right now to push traffic to video. And if you can get out there, what's that stat? The consumer chooses the first agent they see 86% of the time.
Something like that, yeah.
Put your damn face on and get out there in social media and get visible and get this thing seen, so that the consumer can see you, they can hear you, they can build a relationship with you. This is a relationship-based business. And if you're not spending hours every single day on this phone communicating with prospects on social media, your future is grim, my friend. It's very, very grim.
So we were just having this debate on Active Rain, which is the largest North American real estate blog site. And yesterday, it's funny you brought this up, Grant, because so many agents are resisting video because they say, well, I don't have a face for video. I don't have a personality for video. And I'm thinking, if they hire you, they're going to see you anyhow. So what difference does it make?
Well, yeah. What in the hell are you even going out in public for? Like,
right.
What is this conversation? It's literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, it is nerve wracking. I'm not going to lie, but I had to put my dumb face out there for people to see it. And look, I got crooked teeth. I feel like I'm sorry, but I'm bald. Like, I don't have a face for video either. I don't know even know what the hell that means, but I do obviously have to get up and go interact in society and be social and be around people. Right. But here's the thing that real estate agents especially just don't understand.
Lay it on me.
This is a relationship business. Whether you see somebody face to face for the first time or not, they're going to make their judgments about you. The people that like you, guess what? They're going to do business with you. The people that don't, guess what? They won't. So I look at everything as it equates in time. You can't buy my time. Right? You can't say, Grant, I want to buy you for an hour of your time. You just can't do that. I don't offer that up. I'm all about how much time I get to keep for myself, for my family, my son sitting in my office. How much time can I spend as an entrepreneur, right? That's why we go out and build businesses, so that we get our time back. If I go out and I network in public, you're going to see my dumb face. It's not on social media. It's like face to face. Like, you're going to make your judgments about me to my face.
Right.
We're going to go out and we're going to network, and what are most people? They're liars, right? Everybody gets upset. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Like, it's the shoe store conversation, right? You walk in, you try on a pair of shoes. Guy says, do you want them? You say what? No, I think I'm going to go look somewhere else and I'll be back. You're not coming back. You're lying out of your teeth. You're having that same conversation in a networking meeting. Oh man, just give me your card. I'd love to do business with you. Oh man, I got this, and this, and this. And I'm not saying those aren't great things to do, right? Because networking has been a pillar of success for a long, long time. What I'm saying is that the mental equity that people steal from you whenever you meet them in person, whenever you go out there and you do an hour listing presentation and you don't walk away with the business, you're never coming back with a business, right?
Right.
You're wasting your time. So why not allow people to build a relationship with you without ever having to talk to them? That's what's so great about social media, right? That's what's so great about being able to put your face out there. Hey, guess what? If people don't like your face, they just click the unfollow button. Never, ever do you know about it, right?
Right. So you're talking about laying the groundwork.
It doesn't mess up your psyche. Like, I'm talking about changing your life. Like, you guys are having psychological warfare issues out there trying to grow your business in traditional ways. If you just wake up, I don't get it. I don't get I'm not afraid of, I don't like video thing. Like, hey, look, I wasn't 100% a fan of it, but I took some imperfect action and boom. We have been raised for the last several decades to celebritize what we see on video. Think about it, even down to your local news anchors. You walk in, oh my gosh, there's Mark Kennan or whatever, his name is. Oh my gosh, it's that person, it's that person. That same thing is happening right now on social media, and it's very, very cool. It's very interesting what continues to take place. But the consumer will grow to celebritize you as a real estate agent in your local market the more and more they see you, which creates an incredibly warm interaction the first time you hang out with people. Now we live in an age where people are like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you. It's like, I know I'm just getting to see you for the first time, but if you will step out of your little BS bubble, like where you're telling yourself all these BS stories and BS lies that you're not worth it and you don't have a face for video, I don't understand what any of that crap means, and just do it, just do the work, you are going to be absolutely blown away at the type of relationships you're able to build. Because the people that don't like you, never going to hear from them. The people that like you are going to progress forward or move forward and do business with you or send you business in some form or fashion.
Right. Well, and the other truth is that if you're not doing it, your competition is, and they may not be any better looking than you are. So why not take a shot?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What is it? Mark Cuban said, he said, work like there's somebody out there working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. Because in all actuality, there is. And real estate agents, you need to get very comfortable with being uncomfortable, because speed is what is really going to help those out there in the marketplace. And you sitting there like a turtle making these BS assumptions that you aren't good enough, it's going to solidify how broke you are like right now. You're just going to keep experiencing that. And people can come to me and they can say, well, Grant, I'm really successful right now. It's like, well, it's right now. And it's 2017. What are you going to do tomorrow to change and evolve? Because you have to. I was speaking to an agent the other day, Bridget, my wife, her what they call pops. He was in the industry for, it was like 50 years. And he sat down and he was talking to me about all these crazy things that he did every time the market would turn, like just this crazy things that he would do to get attention. And it was hilarious, but it's so true. That stuff still applies today. We just have a different platform that it applies on. We've been gifted one of the single greatest ad platforms in human history. And you got people out there that are like, nah, I don't think that's going to work. It's like, get the hell out of here.
It's
like,
a fad.
You're done. You're over. Your business, it's in writing. It may not happen today, but you are extinct as a real estate professional.
Well, and the statistic that I've heard from NAR is that the average demographic of a realtor is a female in her mid 50s. That's who your average realtor is, and obviously there's younger and older and male. But what do you say? I mean, I'm 48 years old, so I'm approaching my 50s, but I mean, I grew up with computers. I grew up, with email coming into my life really before I was a realtor. So for me, it was a no-brainer, websites, so forth. But take me through that average realtor who is resisting this, but really can't afford to. They're not anywhere near retiring. So how do you ease people in, or maybe you don't ease them in? How do you throw them in the deep end and get them going?
Have you ever been slapped in the face?
Yeah.
I tend to try and do that with words.
Gotcha.
Because the facts are the facts. Like you always have to go where the attention is. That's what you're trying to do. Facebook is simply a tool to create more what?
Get more leads,
more relationships, more opportunity, more people to communicate with. That's all it is. That's the only thing that it's good for right now in business, right?
Okay.
It's from a real estate agent's perspective,
right.
It is a tool to create more conversation. Guess what you got to have in real estate to make it? A lot of freaking conversations. Right. Don't look at it and don't get so damn romantic about, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that and I don't want to do this. I'm sure you probably want to feed your family tomorrow though too, right?
Right.
I'm sure you don't want to file bankruptcy next year because you were in your own way, right? I don't think your family deserves that, do they?
They do not.
I'm sure that you do not want to go out there and continue to get the door slammed in your face when you're knocking like it's 1990. I'm sure that you don't want to continue to build up your mind and psych yourself up to go out there and make 1,000 phone calls today when you know you're just going to get hung up on. That shit is damaging.
Yeah.
Not just from a business standpoint, it's damaging your reputation. It's damaging from a psychological standpoint.
Yeah, it steals your joy.
You look at the inner struggles of real estate agents, not the external. Look at the inner struggles. I was talking to a guy the other day. We were having a little real estate panel. He told me he had a heart attack
Oh my God.
from as much stress as he was putting on himself
Yep.
to go out there and make 100 calls a day.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you just have to wake up and realize that it's 2017, and whether you like it or not, things have evolved, things have changed, new stuff is here, but it's all here to make our lives easier. It's not here to make our lives harder. And I usually like to just bring the old slap in the face, and that does not get me a lot of friends, right? That that does not make a lot of people a fan of me, but you cannot ignore the facts. I was talking to somebody the other day, and this guy is a cold caller. Like, that's how he gets business. And we were doing an interview and we were chatting. And when the interview was over, he was like, on a real serious note, Grant, like, how do I get this stuff in place in my business? Because I'm working myself to death.
Yeah.
It's
See, that's the reality that they don't talk about. They talk about all the leads they're working, all the business they're doing, but they don't talk about the life, the personal life and the mental taxation on your brain that you're going through. You know, you don't know the whole story.
You never know the whole story, right? You know, I'm an open book, but there's still things that I don't talk about. Like, you never know the whole story. Perception to most people, though, is 99% of people is reality. And you know, what looks good may not always be good. It's just a fact. But the overwhelming facts are just this. It's 2017. The broker that told you to go cold call will not answer his damn phone. Like, you're an agent. Go call your broker right now. I bet he doesn't answer you.
Yeah, I know.
Broker that's telling you to go door knock does not answer the door if somebody comes up there to sell him something.
Right.
The broker that's telling you to go out there and mail refuses to rush home and read his junk mail. No, he does the exact same thing that I do. Oh, what is this crap? This is garbage. Like, I'm not going to read that. Get the hell out of here.
Right.
These people have built businesses this way. That's why they're giving that advice. I commend them for giving them advice for what they have experience with. The problem is that not all brokers continue to educate themselves. They rest on their laurels, and
Right.
they've got 100 people sitting in their office. It doesn't matter how much advice they give. Somebody's going to end up making them $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 a month. Somebody's going to pay for that Mercedes. As long as they don't have to do it, who gives a shit, right? These people do not care. And I've put out some marketing campaigns lately that are not winning me any friends. I'm getting very few, right? I'm pissing people off, but I'm speaking the truth. You guys don't want to grow your business this way. I've not met anybody that truly, genuinely in their heart says, I want to wake up every day and cold call. Yes, I love this stuff. Not anybody. My salespeople don't even like to cold call. The people that make this company great money. I don't know anybody, which is why there's a shelf life for VAs that are doing it. There's a shelf life for anything. The thing is while you're out there struggling your ass off, the modern agent, the agent that's understanding how to market today, has a system in place that's working 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that they're doing is talking to people that want to build relationships.
Right.
Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be?
No,
the
absolutely.
Unfortunate part of this is, as a real estate agent, you are unemployed the day you get your commission check.
Yep.
What are you going to do to make sure that pipeline never empties? And when you have systems and processes in place that are working for you every hour of every day, and that pipeline just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, it's the truth. I mean, and I want to be clear on something that you said, the modern agent. We're not saying the young agent. We're saying any age, any sex, race, whatever, that is smart enough to jump into 2017 and look towards 2018 with their marketing.
Some of my most successful brokers are 55 plus successful
there you go.
agents.
So saying I'm a certain age does not preclude you from getting involved in this. So, and I can get a feel for your personality and how you approach people, but take me through, like, if I'm calling you and I'm like surrendering to this, I'm saying, Grant, okay, I get it. I don't understand any of this, but I get that I have to do it. What are the steps you take people through to get them up to speed on this?
I'm not a very smart guy. I tell people that all the time, right? I'm not a book smart dude. I've got all kinds of common sense and street smarts, but if you throw me in a classroom, I will fail, and I have in the past. Didn't graduate college, dropped out, failed history 2 consecutive semesters in a row. Do with that what you will. So for me, it had to be broken down into bite-sized pieces that I could understand.
Right.
I did not sleep for weeks working to master these various platforms. I didn't. I just became obsessive compulsive, and I figured it out. I had to work harder and I had to do more things, but I figured it out. And what I realized is that the average human, the average real estate agent, not that they're not book smart, but in most cases needs it broken down to be really, really easy, bite-sized pieces that they can understand and consume. And so what we do is we don't teach you Facebook ads, right?
Okay.
Which is hilarious. We don't teach you like the concept of Facebook ads. We don't teach a lot of that stuff. We teach very specific step-by-step strategy. Okay. So we've found that there are around 12 different Facebook ads right now that convert like crazy. No matter what market, what you do, wherever you put it in, you plug it in and boom, it takes off and it works and generate leads, generate opportunity. And so when you walk into our world, what we want to help you understand is how to get those things in place. So let's say we're talking about marketing a property, for instance.
Right.
We want to show you, okay, you're going to have to send these people to a landing page. So how do you build the landing page? Step 1, drag your mouse here, put this picture up, do this. Boom, you finish step 1, you're done. That was awesome. Now let's go to step 2. Put more pictures in place. Put this form here, put this, do this. Literally, people log in and they see videos of us and you're just copying what we're doing. It's not there. Sometimes I'm upset because there isn't as much learning going on, but inadvertently you're truly educating yourself on the process and how it all works. Right. So it's what the way that we indoctrinate people to it. It's very much like copy and paste. We went out there and we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure out what worked and what didn't. And we took all the stuff that worked and we packaged it in such a way so when somebody logs in, by the end of getting through module 1, boom, they've got a Facebook ad out, they've got landing pages created, they've got email marketing campaigns in place, they've got everything that they need. Plus they understand exactly what metrics to look for. If they don't get those metrics, they understand what to change. They get the follow-up systems that we teach to make sure that you're converting at a higher rate. Like literally from end to end, we baby step people through this. I have a 5-year-old, about to be 5-year-old little girl. I could guarantee if she could read, she could do this stuff. And it goes to our highest level agents, our oldest agents that right. don't even know how to turn on a computer. One of my favorite stories was a lady named Teresa. She was an older agent. She was thinking about getting into our program for like a year. And finally she did it. And within 2 weeks, she had ads out. She had a buyer put under contract. In 6 weeks, she made $4,000.
Wow.
Right. So you're able to take anybody at any comprehension level and baby step them through the process to what to post on Facebook, where to send those people, and how to follow up with them. It's 3 easy phases. And we just like to, we put education out there like I need it, right? I need it very simple. I need it visually explained. And I think how easy it is for people to understand what we teach is why they're able to go in and within 72 hours be getting success, be getting results.
Well, it sounds. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think another thing that people don't realize, and it's regrettably going to be kind of bashing brokers, but because of the things you stated, Grant, the tools, a lot of the tools that brokerages provide when it comes to online marketing are dreadful, aren't they, Grant?
They are. And I don't like bashing brokers to an extent, but as I said in some of the marketing that I recently pissed out, I'm just so pissed off because you meet so many good people, right? You meet so many good people in this industry that are turned cold by the process.
Yes.
And people that come in and they're excited and they're joyful and they're just ready to jump into this new adventure. And what are they promised? They're promised a life of fame and fortune, of Mercedes and cash and this and that and the other. And then, okay, what do I do to go get all that? Here's the keys. I'm sure you're going to figure it out. I'll see you at our next office meeting. Or if you get me a commission check, whatever happens first. F you. Like, seriously, why would you do that to somebody? Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm so upset because the lack of education that exists in the industry, it's already a low barrier to entry industry.
Right.
Why are we not educating these people on exactly how to go out there and help more people? We speak to real estate agents at least 50 to 60 every single day. Overwhelming thing that we hear is, I want to help more people live the American dream. I want to help more people purchase homes. They have no clue how to make that happen.
Right.
They're failing on teaching them how to be an agent, contracts, process, those different types of things. They are damn sure not teaching people how to go out there and market. I traveled the country recruiting when I owned a brokerage for a little bit of a time, and I learned something overly fascinating. And it's that the average real estate agent, what do they want? What's the number one thing that they want?
They want their freedom.
most people would say money, because money buys you pretty much anything else, right? And it wasn't true.
Right.
The number one thing that they wanted was the understanding of how to make money, how to generate leads, how to create more relationships, how to run a damn business. And
how to run a business.
Unfortunately, nobody. And I mean, I've gone deep into the depths of what feels like hell with some of these real estate brokers. Nobody is truly educating people on what to do. And I think Keller Williams, I'm going to, not that I'm like a KW advocate.
Right. I know where you're going.
Definitely have done the best job at it.
Yeah.
Still yet, you watch so many people walk into those red doors and walk out in another few months because they feel like they weren't educated on modern ways to grow their business.
Right.
Because when you go take bold, what do you got to do? You got to call 100 people a day.
Yeah. No, it's true. You know, we had this conversation this weekend. I was talking with a couple real estate developers, and we were talking about the abysmal numbers in real estate. NAR is saying for many years, NAR said our failure rate is 80%, meaning in 4 years, 80% of the people that got their license today will not renew. And that failure rate is within the first year, most of that stat. It is now approaching 90%. And what we were talking about is if it was more than just how to get a license, but how to run a business before they allowed you to turn loose on the public. So you actually had a business, because it is a business. It's not a job. You're not getting a paycheck. You're getting a commission check.
Right. Most people come from the job world to go into real estate. Now, what happens in a job? Day one, orientation.
Right.
Day two, keep learning how to do this stuff so you don't make us look like idiots. Day three, keep on that education train. It's nothing but training.
Right.
To make sure that you do the best job possible.
Right.
Day one of entrepreneurship for most people, retirement, baby, let's do this. Woo! And then day two, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this. Like, there's nothing. There's no education.
Yep.
And it pisses me off to no end, the empty promises that these agents are delivered day after day after day after day after day. And there's probably not going to ever be any type of limitations put in place as far as your barriers to entry, right? Because then the government wouldn't be able to collect all those fancy fees.
Right.
But if we could do something about the education, and that's what we're doing at our university, that's why I created the university, is so that people could understand the 5 core issues that they're going to have: leads, sales conversion, systems and processes, life, business structure, and scale, right? Core issues that I'm sure you probably have experienced at least one of those 5.
Yes.
If you can understand how to generate leads, if you can understand how to convert those leads, if you can understand the types of systems and processes to put in place to make sure that you don't work 60, 80 hours a week so you can spend more time with your family, the things that you want to do. If you can understand how to build a business that supports the life that you always wanted to live, not a life to support the business.
Right.
Right. And if you can understand how to scale that, not only are you going to be better off, but the industry will be better off. The consumer will be better off. Amen. Everybody in that situation wins. But
we have what we have,
right? We got a bridge, right? We're sitting on both sides of the Grand Canyon. We got somebody here and somebody here, and there's a huge gap.
Yeah. Well, in the coaching industry is attempting to fill that gap, but unfortunately, most coaches teach you how to be a better single operator. They're not teaching you some of the points you made, scalability, because you have nothing to sell until it's scalable, and there should be an exit strategy in mind at some point in your business. And you know, the fact that maybe you want to grow your business, are they coaching you up on how to add people to your company? You shouldn't be doing everything, you know.
Well, I've got to say, you know, the first thing that you need to understand is in your current state of being, what type of life do you want to live? It has nothing to do with the type of business that you want to build. It has something to do with the life you want to live.
That's a great point.
And the life that you want to live will predicate what type of business you should build.
That's
Some people should be single agents because all they want to do is sell a few houses every year, make enough money to pay their bills, and go on. Some people want to live a lifestyle business. Some people don't want business responsibilities. They just want to make money.
That's true.
They just want to help a few people a year, make a paycheck, travel to the beach. Do you want to live that kind of life? Or do you want a little more responsibility? Do you want a little more growth? Do you want a little more? Some people should build teams. Some people should understand how to put that structure in place. Some people should understand who to hire, when to hire, how to hire, blah, 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 blah. And some people should understand how to step out of the business process a little bit and leverage themselves against the people they put in place. Some people are trying to go big. Some people want to build a brokerage. Some people want to make billions of dollars. How do you do that? I think that contrary to what you said, it's not important to understand what type of business you want to build. It's important to understand what type of life you want to live.
You'll get no argument out of me. That's a great point.
I think we'll go for our break, folks, and we'll come back and continues this fascinating conversation. And learn a bit more. We'll be back in a minute. We're coming back, and it's been a fascinating conversation so far. I just got a quick question reflecting on what was said in the first half of our interview, Grant. You know, I understand where a lot of brokers are coming from because of all the factors that you stated, the things that led to their success. They still feel they will be the core. And we've covered a lot of ground why that doesn't work. But really, a real estate agent in 2017, in a way, they're in entertainment business to some extent. Would you agree with that?
They're in the attention business.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to do stuff to get attention that you wouldn't necessarily do, right? You know, the reason that we can go off and build an info business the way that we're building it is because I'm somewhat of a dynamic personality, right? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I believe you guys would agree after speaking with me for the last 30 minutes that I've got somewhat of a personality that people might grasp onto or they might freaking hate. Right? You know, Grant Cardone said, if I could get 50% of the people in this country to hate my guts, I could be president of the United States of America. And it's totally, totally true.
Yeah.
The thing is
that happen.
The thing is that real estate agents should listen to their brokers to an extent, right? There is law that they must follow. That's important. There's contractual things that must be followed. That's important. There's processes that go throughout that are very, very important. Real estate agents should listen to their brokers from a business standpoint because you know what? The laws of business have never changed.
Right.
Laws
the fundamentals
have never changed. The laws of sales have never changed. Not in the history since their foundation. What I am merely saying is that there are new ways to apply these laws. There are new rules. There are new systems. There are new processes. Go build a sphere of influence. Build it as big as you could possibly build it. Make that thing a monster, but stop doing it selling your time. And that's what you're doing. Some people say, well, I'm going to spend as much time as I possibly can. And I'm going to work and work and work and work and work. I'm going to hustle my way to success. And I'm going to work 18 hours a day for the next 6 months and I'll be set up for life. Right. Bullshit. I'm going to put my Facebook systems in place. And that's what's relevant right now, right? I'm only talking about that right now because that is what is working.
Right.
I'm going to put my systems in place. You're going to work 24 hours a day, and I'm going to sit back and play golf, and I'm going to go to the lake, and I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'm going to go have lunch with my wife. I'm going to drink coffee. I'm going to do whatever in the hell it is that I please with my life, why I got in business, until the phone rings, because I know that those systems are going to bring me new opportunities every day. And all I need to do is sit back and wait and be prepared for those opportunities, right? It's not sitting back and waiting on things to happen. You've put systems in place to create those opportunities. If your system is broken, don't sit back and just wait, fix the system. Right? You still want to build that SOI, right? I'm not saying that referral business isn't something that's viable. It's damn sure not scalable, but every deal you do is worth 2 more. It's a fact. Facebook, for a lot of our clients, is a start to building up that huge foundation, that huge SOI, that huge database, that huge referral base, that huge thing. My first client ever, she was doing okay, right? She was 6 months standard agent, 6 months in the business, sold 3 houses. In 90 days of doing what I told her to do, Facebook ads, 1 Facebook ad, she sold 18 properties.
Wow.
Okay. She went on the next year, right? The whole year, 18 properties first 90 days. Then the next 9 months, she sold 48 houses total, her first full year in the business.
Wow. Okay.
What that opened the door to was that the very next year, the very next 3 months, she, I think, pocketed 40, 60, somewhere around that $60,000 a month area in income. Wow. Because of the base that she had built for herself. Yep. I'm not saying Facebook ads are going to take you home, right? Facebook ads are just a means to create more opportunity, because I believe lead generation, relationship building, it's more than a Facebook ad.
Right.
You know,
this is part of the whole.
Absolutely. It's ground zero. It's what you must do to get those things happening.
Right.
We're seeing people walk in with no opportunity, and in 2 weeks, they've got 30, 40, 50, 100 leads in some cases. Their sphere just grew leaps and bounds. And it wasn't this frigid, cold experience where they're having to psych themselves up every day and go out and do this and do that and do this and do that.
Right.
It was opportunity every single day that was coming to them. That doesn't mean that you can't take the hours that you have off and go connect with business owners. Go to the places that you frequently do business with and talk to them about how you can help them with these new social strategies that you just learned. Bring business to them. The law of reciprocity. They're instantly going to want to turn back around and do some more good stuff for you. Right? It doesn't mean that you can't do some of the things that we've done. I'm just saying stop killing yourself trying to create those things. And I think the original point was that, listen to the core value in that advice. And again, it's business is business, marketing is marketing, sales is sales. It does not matter if you're selling pizzas or if you're selling houses. The principles are the same. There's just slightly different ways that they're applied.
Right. Well, and I mean, and what you're talking about, and to use your example, I mean, the difference between a pizza and a house is I'm calling to order my pizza, but I'm calling everyone else to say, hey, do you want to buy a house? And you're talking about having people knocking on your office door instead of you constantly going out and soliciting the business, even if it is working by referral to your database. It's why the allure of working for a builder, so much so in our industry, because you just sit in an office and they come to you. But I hear that's what you're teaching us. You're teaching us that we don't have to constantly go out and find the business. It would actually come to us. And then that's a much warmer call because you've already established some sort of a relationship through this social media.
Yep.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, and to me, it's fascinating that people resist that so much. It just doesn't.
People resist what they don't understand. They resist change. People are afraid of things that they don't know. And, we've talked to people that don't do business with us a year later, come back begging to do business with us, right? People reject what they're unsure of. It's scary because I don't really know how it works. But when you grow to understand things, being a real estate agent wasn't always easy as it is now for you, right? Because when you first got the keys to your office and somebody threw them at you and said, good luck.
Right.
What were you left with? You were left with a hope and a prayer that everything was going to be okay. And you were left with your innate desire to either make this happen or you were going to fall on your face. Real estate wasn't always as easy because you had to learn that new skill. Some people reject it because they don't know what it is. They don't understand how it works. And what we see is when we're able to sit down in presentations and help people understand what's really possible, show people these ninja tricks, teach people the cost of acquisition business model, and just help people understand that this is a mathematical game. It's not a psychological game, that, people are so much more receptive. But you're always going to have people that say, no, this doesn't work. It's never going to work. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And unfortunately, when you resist change at this capacity, it means the extinction of your business. Because as much as we all hate it, we live in what the media would have you believe are very terrifying times. So not that we do, because I don't think that we do. I think it's a bunch of media bull. Guess what? A large percentage of the country listens to that media jargon.
Oh, yeah.
A large percentage of the country is not going to answer the door because they're terrified of who it might be. A large percentage of the industry isn't going to, a large percent of the consumer base is not going to answer their phone because of the things that they hear. And guys, you must create an opportunity. I get real estate agents all over the country, all over the world that stop me everywhere I go. And Hugh Grant Wise, I am in front of my prospect, my ideal client, every single day on this little 3x4-inch billboard that they refused to take out of their hand.
Their iPhone.
I'm where the attention is.
Right.
And that is something that you must do if you want to be successful in this industry.
I've got a question for you, Grant. I've been hearing, which is slightly contradictory. There seems to be a bit of a duality here around long-form Facebook adverts becoming a bit more successful. But on the other hand, I agree with you. Video also seems to be a big area where Facebook are placing attention. So I just wonder what your thoughts are. Is more long-form adverts, more text, less emphasis on the importance of image and video, or has it always, like it has been for the past couple of years, all about image, offer, maybe video?
It's more about what we're seeing right now is that long form copy with the video converts the absolute greatest. That's just what we're experiencing. I think I get posts on my Facebook ads all the time. I didn't want to read a book. It's well, then why did you read it? It's move the hell on. Why'd you comment? But we get people all the time that comment us trying to tell us how to do our jobs. You need to write short posts, you need to be to the point. And the facts of the matter is that our email list is growing almost 1,000 a day. People are paying attention to what we have to say. And if your message is right there and it's spot on, which ours is, it's just beautiful stuff. That's what really is relevant. And right now we're seeing that if you've got a good video with some great long form copy, that your ad's going to convert at a really high rate.
So, and just for the sake of our listeners, when you're talking about a long form ad, could you just explain that?
A lot of text. A lot of text in your Facebook posts.
Okay.
Writing, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 20 paragraphs. You would think that people don't want to read that, but in actuality, they do. There's a lot of people that are just sitting there hanging out looking for stuff to read. That's why you're seeing it's so important to put captions in videos right now, because a lot of people are in noisy places when they're scrolling social media. They can't hear what it is that you're saying. So if you don't have the captions in your post, it's actually going to hurt the way that it performs. People will sit there and they will read that video if it's 30 minutes long, which is very interesting. But people do. It's the message. If people are drawn to it, if it speaks to them, they will read. I don't care if it's 1,000 pages long. They'll sit there and they'll read it.
Okay, so and you're talking about the captions that you can insert on a YouTube video. You can opt in on those. Yep,
and now Facebook allows you to caption your video through their platform too. So. Oh,
really? Okay, interesting. So and is it? Do you think it's because the video's there to enhance the text that people bother to read the text? Would they read it if it was a standalone long form ad?
My data says that they will.
Okay.
But Facebook wants all of the attention. Facebook doesn't like YouTube. Facebook doesn't like these other platforms that they don't own. right?
Yeah.
And so they're doing crazy stuff right now to steal market share from YouTube, to steal market share from anybody else that has viewership, which is why I can go out and put my face in front of people for a fraction of a penny, like 0.0001. I can get people seeing my video, seeing my face, seeing whatever it is that I'm putting out there. People don't understand the opportunity that they have right now because of Facebook's disdain for other platforms, because of the attention that they want to keep. And that makes it insane for marketers, and you're a marketer before you're a real estate agent.
All right.
You're a marketer and you're a salesperson. You don't even get to be a real estate agent until like the third or fourth thing. If you don't understand that, get out.
Nope,
It's
you're
wrong.
right. I beat that drum all day long, baby.
They allow us to leverage data for fractions of what it costs to do anything else. So we're talking about real estate investing. I can help a real estate investor save 90% of his marketing costs by just marketing in Facebook instead of direct mail and those different types of things.
Wow.
The amount of money, you don't need billboards. This is the only billboard you need to be advertising on. You don't need radio. This is the only platform. This is the only thing. You got to figure out how to get on here.
Yep.
At the fingertips of people's hands. Forget all the other stuff. You got to go where the attention is, and the attention is on Facebook right now.
Okay, and when we're talking about the videos, is this a combination of professionally shot videos and videos shot with our iPhones?
So I'm getting more and more fond of my professionally shot stuff.
Okay.
And I think the more and more push, the more and more attention to video, I think that more professionally stuff done is going to continue to become more relevant. But hey, we're a lot of amateurs, right? Like there ain't nothing pro about this iPhone besides some of its capabilities are pretty cool, but there ain't nothing pro about this video. But do you understand what it is? Is it's real,
right?
Not fake. And that's what the consumer hates, and they have hated for the last couple of years. They've hated perfection because nobody is perfect. They love authentic transparency. And when you can sit there and shake with your phone and get the video out there and it's windy as hell and people can barely hear you, all of that stuff doesn't matter. It's real.
Right.
It's real. And people want real relationships right now.
It's so true because, I just had an advertiser come to me and say, hey, you want to advertise in this magazine? We've got only room for 30 agents. And I'm thinking, why would I want to put my face where 30 other agents are? And I have no way of communicating my difference in that ad. Video allows my personality and my hopefully my competence and my character to come through like no other advertising.
100%.
Yeah.
100,000%. Again, it goes back to that stat.
Yep.
The consumer chooses the first agent they meet 86% of the time. Hey, this is a way that they met you. So pay attention.
Jonathan.
I also hear from a certain group of agents, my target audience is older. They're still reading the paper. They're still listening to radio. I don't need to build my database. I don't need to subdivide the database, and I certainly don't need to be on social media because these older people aren't on social media. And that's when I start hitting myself on the desk because I know that's cobblers. What's your reaction when you must hear similar things said to you, Grant?
Out of business.
Yep.
Fold up shop. Like seriously.
Grandma's Googling us just as much as grandson is.
Grandma's got the time to be on Facebook every single day. Grandma's spending 6 hours a day on social media. This is a fact because, and you see this, I think I heard Gary Vee say this for the first time. We're living through one of the fastest youthification of our society ever.
Yes.
Older people are on social media trying to stay in touch with little Jimmy that is out there on Facebook too. They're trying to stay because otherwise they have to rely on the call, right? Well, I'm not going to wait on the call. I'm going to go see what he's doing because he's posting on Facebook all the time, right?
That's right.
And you're seeing where more youthful, Gen Z is jumping down into Snapchat because they want their own space. They want their own zone that they can go hang out with. hang out in. And I'm seeing a lot of middle-aged people are jumping into Snapchat because they want to know what their kids are doing. Like,
Right.
dude, older people are absolutely 1,000% on social media, and they're on Facebook more than the average user.
It's so true. I mean, I don't consider my dad old. I mean, he's 71, but he's a grandfather, and in fact, he's a great grandfather. And he's the one that actually got the iPhone before I did. He's popping up on Facebook. You know, it's exactly what you're saying, that it's their grandchildren that are getting them onto social media, because that's where they get to keep up with their grandchildren, because we're all spread out. I mean, and that's the number one way. So, you know, it's such a misconception to put an age limit on social media, because it's just like you said, they're actually on there more often. And my average client, I find them on Facebook, and I get contacted by them on Facebook more so than email, which sometimes can be frustrating because I'm not 100% on Facebook all day long. And, but you know, I'm noticing that trend, that I'm getting, that, personal message through Facebook more than I'm getting emails. Text is still number one these days, but,
that's something that every agent should understand as well, is that you're working with a wide variety of people, and that everybody likes to communicate differently. And we teach this in our sales training. It's not about the platform that you like to communicate on. It's about understanding how to sell on the platform that your prospect likes to communicate on.
There you go.
Some people are selling houses through Snapchat. Some people are still selling houses old school. Hey, let's meet and let's go check this place out and let's do this. There is so much variance from there to there.
Yes.
You have to pay attention. If people like to communicate on Facebook, guess what? Talk to them on Facebook. You know why? Because you're going to get the best response rates. You're going to get the best response time. You're going to get the most people talking back to you. You're engaging with them where they want to be. And that is more important than where you want to be. So whether they like email or not, if you can hang out in Facebook more, hey, guess what? I bet you would add more business to your bottom line. Yep. It's not about what you like. It's about what your prospect likes. And if you can educate yourself on every communication platform that we have, and right now we have about 5, you can grow to understand that your rates will blow through the roof, because you're allowing people to do the things that they want to do. And if somebody wants to talk to me, I can't tell you how much business this year, last year through Facebook Messenger, because that's where everybody wanted to be, right? That's where everybody was at. And it wasn't about what I wanted. I just got really good at closing people through Facebook Messenger. Like I mastered that form of communication. Yeah. So every problem presents a new opportunity. And I think that's like a really just important message. And agents out there, and you're saying, well, people want this and people want this and people want this. Give the damn people what they want, because if you're working to build a relationship, then, well,
and then when you're building a relationship, you're asking questions. And that's one of the main questions you should ask, is how do you prefer to be communicated with? I get asked by listeners once in a while, why do you always talk about find you on LinkedIn? Well, because the perception is that LinkedIn is fading away or is not very popular. But I always mention LinkedIn because there is a huge percentage of people that communicate with me through LinkedIn. Whether I like it or not, that's where they are. And if I want them to feel like I've heard them and this is how I want to be communicated with, I'm going to respond on LinkedIn. I'm not going to call them or text them when that's their method of communication.
Yep.
So, and go ahead, Jonathan.
Just want to ask a couple more quick questions, because obviously Grant's time, we must respect Grant's time, and he's been very generous. Another area which you emphasize in your training, and I know Grant has been generous being a sponsor, but I have looked at his training quite extensively, and I fully endorse it, folks. Honestly, I think if you're an agent that really wants to learn about the processes, I would highly recommend Grant's training. But one of the things you do emphasize, which is also kind of obvious, but a lot of agents don't seem to get this, is obviously in an ideal world, you would want your advert to play, you get a response, you follow through, and boom, they become a client. But that's not really sometimes that happens, but a lot of times it doesn't. You need a drip email system because a lot of people, they're not ready at that precise moment, but you need to build some relationship, and there's a good chance at some time they will be ready. But they don't. A lot of people don't get that. What do you think all that's about, Grant?
People are into immediate gratification. Like, we just live in a time where if you want something, you can have it in like 2 seconds. Like anything. Like, think of anything. Like, and people think that that's how business works and that's how relationships work in a lot of cases. And you're only going to see that get worse, I believe. Especially as this new society continues to develop. A lot of these millennials, it's going to be insane to see what develops through a lot of these people that have their entire life gotten whatever they've wanted in a moment's notice. So I am interested, but I think that's a lot of the reason that it happens. If you would sit back and understand, like I do, that you're going to close 1% to 3% of the total number of leads that you generate if you have amazing systems in real estate. That's facts. Those are stat numbers. Now, what that means is that you've got 97 to 99% of those people that aren't going to do business right now. They're going to do business down the road. What we've seen is that 62 to 67% of the list that you generate is going to do business within the next 8 to 12 months. At some point in time, it's just who they're going to do business with.
Right.
And then you've got another percentage of your list that's never going to do business with you, and they're probably not going to do business at all. So look at that for what it is. The biggest issue in the industry that we hear from agent to agent is the lack of consistency that they don't have in their life and their business.
Yes.
And it comes from that. I'm going to beat the streets for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And a month's going to go by and holy hell, I am tired. I need to go sleep for a week. And then what happens when you stop for a week? Your business stops for a month.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. Yes.
And so you get these holes that exist every few months in your business. And it creates a lack of consistency that you just despise, you loathe, you like wake up every day like I hate this shit. And sorry for anybody that's got children's ears, but having systems in place that work for you 24/7 around the clock creates a level of consistency that you want, that most people like crave, like, oh my gosh, I thank the Lord. Understand, you've got 60 to 62, 67% of your database that's not going to be ready to do business right now.
Right.
And if you can understand that next 3, 6, 8, 12 months looks like relationship building, looks like a bottle of scotch, looks like a nice cup of coffee, it looks like the golf course, it looks like dinner, it looks like drinks. Understand what that is, and you're going to understand and see an entirely new level of consistency injected into your business that you've just never experienced before. Some people are so impatient to the process that their success is limited. Their success is predetermined. A lot of people live on that 1% to 3%, and they pay no attention to the huge portion of their business, of where their business is going to come from.
That's so well put. You got a finishing question, Thomas?
Yeah, I got to find out why he's afraid of leprechauns.
So I was trying to
maybe we don't want to go there.
I'm teasing you. I'm assuming there's an inside joke and long story to this. So
I was messed with as a kid. My brothers, they loved me a lot, and I think the story goes that they forced me one time when I was really young to watch it, and it just terrified me to no end. And to this day, I joke that I don't really joke. I actually still legitimately am afraid of it, but it's just been a running joke in our family for a long time.
Well, my real final question is, what's the question that I should have asked you that I didn't, that our listeners should want to hear your answer to?
That's a good one. I don't know. I don't know. I think that the easy answer is that if you go to likegrantwise.com, you can follow me and you can ask me yourself. I honestly don't know. One of the things that I will say is that I, like you, am tired I'm tired of what the industry continues to pour out. I'm tired of the bad advice. I'm tired of the lack of education. I'm tired of the inconsistency that you have in your life. I'm tired of the this and the that and the other. I'm just as exhausted as you are, but I promise you that we are doing something about it. And that's why we developed Real Estate Marketing University, was to be an educational platform that people could hook into and truly, truly, truly understand what it was going to take to grow a business, and not just that, action steps, how to go from nobody to somebody in 90 days, because it no longer takes the 2 to 3 years it used to. If you will just go to work and implement systems that work for you while you're sleeping, you can condense 2 to 3 years of success into 2 to 3 months, and you can expound off of that base and that platform and really build a real estate empire for yourself. So if there's a question that wasn't asked today, ask Jonathan, ask Thomas, ask myself. I'm happy to jump back on, happy to do more Facebook Lives, happy to answer it. Most important thing that you got to know is that you've got to take action, and that imperfect action will result in your perfect success.
Well, Grant, I tell you, I always know when we've had a great guest because I learned something from the guest, and I've learned a lot from you today. And I appreciate, you seem like a real genuine guy, and I can see where people would be really well taken care of if they came to you. So let's get them to you. How can people contact you? How can people find out more about you?
Yeah, if you want to find out more about me, go to likegrantwise.com, L-I-K-E, grantwise.com. You're going to see a lot of blogs, social media stuff, a lot of training that we put on. And there as well, you can link in and you can check out the university and see how we can help solve problems that you might be having.
Good stuff. All right. And Jonathan, how can people find you?
You can Twitter me at Jonathan Denwood. I'm pretty active on Facebook as well. Or you could email me. When it's obvious a question from a person or needs some help, I do answer my email personally, and that's at jonathan@mail-right.com, and you'll probably get a reply in a couple of days.
All right. And I am Thomas J. Nelson, a San Diego residential realtor who's never too busy for your referrals. And you can find me at thomasjnelsonrealtor.com or on Facebook under my name or on LinkedIn. Thanks for joining us for episode 86. Grant, we really appreciated having you here today, my friend, and look forward to talking to you again in the future. Jonathan, any closing words?
No, just listen to our podcast next week. It's going to be an interesting guest around video, funny enough.
Yep.
So really linked into some of the things we've been discussed with Grant. But I just want to say, Grant, it's been a really enjoyable interview. You've been on top form, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
So I finished my external recording, and we're still on Facebook and that. Is there anything, have you still got a couple more minutes, or do you have to be really off now?
I've got 5 minutes.
Oh, so is there anything in the near future, in the next 3 to 4 months, that you think is going to develop in Facebook, or are you really concentrating on your video strategy for the next few months?
People have shiny object syndrome, and they like to look at all these cool new things that Facebook comes out with and rush to them without really proving any types of results. And so where a lot of our clients win is in just doing what works, right? We've been door knocking for how many decades, right? We've been cold calling for how many decades?
Yeah, since the 50s.
We've only had this Facebook platform for a couple of years, and people are already moving on to the next thing. And so we're still enforcing a lot of the initial strategies that we taught because they work, and they've continued to work. I think it's funny, a lot of people, when they find a gold mine in their business, they stop digging and they go look for another one. And I'm just not that type of person, right? Whenever you find whenever you strike gold, it's time to really dig in deep and exhaust the mine for what it is. And then when all the gold's gone, you go to the next thing. And so we'll be helping people do that, right? We've found gold. We've struck gold. We found the ATM machine that prints money in our garage. And we're just going to keep driving that force home. I mean, a lot of our most successful campaigns are still boosted post, and most people are like,
really?
Wait a second. It's just how you do that. It's understanding very strategically, very specifically what to say, where to send them, how to post it, who to target it to. And so we're going to keep winning on what we've been teaching. But I'm very excited about what we're doing with video and Facebook Lives and new marketing funnels that we have coming out with that. And then a lot of our adventuring into other areas for sure.
What's your feelings around retargeting and Facebook?
I think it's important if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, just do what you can, right? A lot of people just keep retargeting people with the same message, and it's not Amazon. You're not buying products, right? It's not like if you see the same product over and over again, you're just going to crave for it. You've got to understand that if you tried to sell somebody one way and they didn't like it, hey, try a different angle and they might bite. Which is what we do, 100,000%. And so when you look at the 9 to 12 different ad campaigns that we have in place, we like to teach people how to target a user at the beginning and then how to take them through a series of offers that keep you in the forefront of their Facebook post, but you're continuing to throw different stuff at them. So understanding strategically how to change up the wording and how to change up the offers every so often is one thing. And then understanding how to retarget people with social proof, I think is where a lot of people fail. At the end of the day, people buy the results of others. And so when you can continue to show up that way in front of other people, it does wonders for your business.
Hey, Grant, I was curious. I've been looking at your website, and what is the university cost to sign up for it, and what's the duration?
So we are an application-only university, which means that you would have to apply, and then we would jump on the phone and we would go over all that stuff.
Okay.
I'm not a volume dealer. I tell people that all the time. I'm not trying to work with everybody on planet Earth. I'm trying to work with a few people that we can make ultra successful, and that's why we charge what we charge, and that's why we have the sales process that we have. And so if you're interested, just go through the university and then fill out an application.
Okay.
And we'll get you on the books and we'll get you on the calendar, and we'll jump on the phone and we'll chat with you at length about who you are, what your goals are, what your problems are. And then if we're a fit, we'll tell you how to go from there.
All right. And I should have asked you this when we were on the audio, but the what's the difference between the university and say like your boot camp or your coaching?
So the university is essentially all encompassing of our different courses. So the university is essentially where all of those things are housed. So you have Modern Agent Mastery, which is our Facebook training program. Excuse me. And then we have a program called Relentless, which is our sales training. It teaches people how to close deals online. And then we have the Organized Agent, teaches people how to get systems and processes in place, automations, training for their buyers, training for their sellers, training for their agents. And then we have something that we call the Foundation, which is teaching people how to build a life, not just really how to build a business. So teaching people how to structure the life that they've always wanted to live, and then how their business can really be the engine that supports that all. And then we have Legacy Mastermind, which is essentially all of those courses plus coaching. We took our best students that had the most success and converted them into coaches that are also still doing real estate. And so in Legacy, you get all of those courses, plus you get a coach. And so each program has its own meaning, and each program is simply housed right there on the university site.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Grant, a deep question. Have you changed your attitudes to websites?
No, I have not. I still think they're pointless.
You still not see the light, have you?
Still think they're pointless. And I tell you, we just had some agents say, no, our website's better than this stupid page that you're telling me to build. And I said, okay, go ahead and test it. You're not going to listen to me. You're going to do it. So just go out and do it. They came back and reported that our strategies were getting them $1 to $3 leads. Their strategy of sending it to their website was getting them at minimum $27 leads. So the cost inflated almost 100%. So, I mean, you just got, I don't ever ground my decisions in theory. I ground my decisions in fact and in results and in proof of what is tested and been proven. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Grant Weiss thinks. It matters what the market thinks. And so if you're not paying attention to the data, that you're just as dead as anybody else if you're an internet marketer. So
it depends on what data you're looking at. Obviously, your Pacific is a Pacific landing page to it. Let's give an example. They took that person to to their
It's
homepage.
it's an
And
any,
I would totally agree with you. You're totally correct.
it's in any industry 1,000%. I mean, if you look at restaurants, if you look at doctors, if you look at chiropractors, if you look at bankers, if you look at anybody, you're seeing more and more and more people working by that one page, one purpose law. And you got to give people one decision to make, because if not, you're essentially having what we call the dinner conversation. Right? Have you ever asked your spouse what they wanted for dinner?
Yeah.
What do they say?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. And then
We live in a society that loves the options we have, but we hate making decisions. And so if you send them to a website that gives them more than one decision to make, no matter what industry, what field, you're hurting yourself. There's a reason Microsoft, who was the original founders of landing pages, created what they did in the early 2000s. It was because none of their websites were converting. They're like, what in the hell do we do? And you've got to pay attention to those types of things.
But where I slightly disagree with you is I still feel, but I've got it before, just to finish off. I still have a slight reservation in even what I'm going to say, because I've got to be truthful. So many agents, so many brokers' sites are so awful. They're worse than a CPA's website. Often, they're as interesting and as engaging as a cold shower. So I think if you've got one of those type of websites, you're probably doing yourself a favour by taking it down. But I think if it is run properly and you're putting, interesting materials that are useful, beneficial to your target audience, you can still get great long-term SEO and local benefit. That's where I slightly disagree with you, Grant.
Yeah, hey man. Well, we can agree to disagree all we want. I don't.
But I agree with 90% of what you say, and thank you so much for coming on the show, Grant. It's been a blast. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we'll keep plugging your great university course, which, like I say, folks, I highly recommend. And just follow Grant. He's a blast, and I've learned a lot from you. So thank you so much, Grant.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. You guys have a good rest of your day.
You too, Grant. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
So we're going to end.
All right, and I got to run too, my friend. So I'll talk to you Thursday.
That's great. See you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. It's been a great record.